The show, everybody. We are, of course, talking about foster care and all that topic entails. And Jared Baldwin is the assistant pastor of Harvest Ministries and also the spokesperson for Harvest House. Now, Jared, you were here maybe about a month ago when you were helping out with Pancakes for Charity. Very, very worthwhile.
Yes, they were really helping us out. I mean,
Yeah.
they raised $5,000 for foster families on Guam. So kudos to them.
And the need for foster families is very well documented here, and there is a great demand for that kind of thing because, for whatever reason, either there are more foster children now that there were in years past, or the number of foster families that have made themselves available has, again, for whatever reason, dwindled. So what is Harvest House, and what is its relationship to foster care?
Well, Harvest House started as just a few foster families kind of getting together and encouraging each other, supporting each other. As the awareness grew amongst these few foster families, they started to meet other foster parents and realized that there just isn't a lot of support out there between foster families. And then there seem to be some common denominators for every foster family. When they get a child, it's usually a surprise. They're usually not 100% ready. They don't have some of the essential things just on hand because you don't know what age child you're going to get, what gender the child is. And then there's just some common struggles they all go through. Everything from paperwork to delays to child rearing issues to you name it. And so there seemed to be just this instant bond. Anytime you introduce one foster family to another, they have so much in common that they really encourage each other. And then we started to realize, well, maybe we could fill in some of the gaps. There are other organizations that are doing some great things, but there are some gaps that were just out there that seem like they'd be a natural fit, like collecting supplies for new foster families, like offering support between foster families, or even helping raise awareness and recruit, and even offer a little training, unofficial training for potential foster families.
I was going to say orientation is probably a big one, because what, in your experience, do most new foster families here go through as far as the transition? Because not only are they introducing a new young person to their family, they're also getting to know that person who's living in their house, being a part of their family, which can be an awkward and kind of uncomfortable.
It is, and you put your heart into it. Absolutely, the people that get into foster care, they do it because they truly want to make a difference. It's impossible to disassociate what's going on internally in your heart from what you're actually trying to do. I mean, you can tell yourself, we don't know how long this is going to be, and we don't want to get too attached. But the truth is, the reason you're in it is because you're the type of person that's going to get attached. You're going to want to help. You're going to want to pour your heart into this kid. And you might have a child for a weekend, and you might have them until they're 18. That's one of the things that you can hear that over and over again, but until you really get to talk to someone that's been through it a couple times, and then you go through it yourself. That's what we experienced. We were considering becoming foster parents. We kind of drug our feet for a while. We had some health issues and things that were delaying us. Finally, we turned in our paperwork, and as soon as we got our certificate, we got a call, and there were two siblings, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, that needed a home. We really weren't planning to take two, and we really weren't planning to take children for more than a short time, just emergency care. Hey, you can call us today, we'll take them, and when you find a long-term home, they can move on. But what happens is, after about 2 hours, we're calling CPS saying, you know what, change that. We'll just keep them until the long-term solution, until
And how can your conscience let you live with the fact that you broke up a brother and sister?
I know. It's so hard, and so what we ended up doing was just saying, okay, we're in this for the indefinite period of time, which for us ended up being almost a year, and ended up being a real blessing to us and our family. But it was a sacrifice too. When you give part of your heart out there, you become vulnerable, and then when they leave, it does hurt. I mean, you can't possibly spend so much time raising children. Like for us, a lot of people think foster children is babies, and that's been our experience, but there's foster children all the way up to 18 years old. But in this case, these two, for us, it was two little brothers. They learned how to walk and talk with us. They learned how to say their prayers at night and their ABCs and their Bible verses from Sunday school, and they learned how to eat with a fork and a spoon. They started to take on a little bit of our personality, and so they become like your own children. And there's no way to not have that happen. if you're a sensitive person, it's just going to happen. So I think one of the biggest cost is really the cost to your heart, because our whole family, at the time, I had a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and they all gave their whole heart to this, and my wife and I as well. So when the little boys ended up going back to their biological father in the States, it was heartbreaking. It was kind of like going through a funeral for us, because they had become such a part of our life. Although every day we reminded ourselves, this is just short term, your heart just gets into it. And that's what a lot of foster families go through. And that's the part that keeps us from just saying, well, foster care is for everyone.
Okay, well, what number can people contact Harvest House at? Because we got to go.
They can call us 477-6341 and ask for Pastor Jared, and we'll be able to get them in contact with Harvest House and more information.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Excellent.
All right, stay tuned. We are back. More KM News Extra.